What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sehgal show, where we interview some unstoppable entrepreneurs who are dominating figures in their businesses. Sahil here, back again with an awesome, insane guest. We are interviewing a very special guest today who helps entrepreneurs become the best version of themselves using Kapow Movement. She's the founder of Kapow Movement. She have won multiple Two Comma Club awards and transitioned from a full-time job a decade ago to this online business. I personally got a chance to meet her at FHL this year. Wonderful human being with full of energy. Without wasting any further time, let's welcome Liz Penny to our show today. What's up, everyone? This is Sahil here, and welcome to the Sehgal Show, where I'm gonna be interviewing some crazy entrepreneurs out there who started from scratch with no experience, resources, and connections, and then later on became unstoppable and dominating figures in their respective businesses. We're gonna dive deep into the mindset of these super successful entrepreneurs to find out how they did it and how you can model it too. It's time to pick their brains and uncover all the strategies and tactics which these entrepreneurs use to scale their businesses from nowhere to multiple 6, 7, and 8 figures. Welcome to the Sehgal Show. Welcome, Liz.
So excited to be here, dude.
Super excited and so honored and pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for your time once again.
Dude, likewise. I don't take it for granted that I'm on your incredible show. Let's go. Let's serve some people today.
Let's do it. So, Liz, I want to know about how did this all crazy journey started for you? Like, when were you bitten by this entrepreneurial bug?
Oh my little lord. Honestly, dude, that probably started happening when I was really, really, really young. I remember being a little kid and being out in the paddocks. I'm a farm girl from like the bottom of the world. I remember being out in the paddocks and just, being there by myself out in the paddocks, like mowing the weeds between some rows of roses. My dad was a rose grower and we used to sell roses. So the entrepreneurial journey really and truly started super young for me because I was doing jobs in my dad's business, outside jobs. And I remember one day the lawnmower would get all like caught up with all the weeds that were underneath it. And it would go and stop. So then I would have to like turn it over and, whilst it was off and then fix the lawnmower. I remember standing there and with all this green stuff in my hand and going, I wonder what I could make with this. I wonder what I could sell with this. I wonder, there could be a face product. And then I remembered the movie The Mask, and then I thought, maybe that's not a good idea. And then, helping dad sell the roses meant that I was in a marketing role at the age of 14. I was in a sales role at the age of 14 as well. But I was never really selling or marketing. I was just giving people what they wanted. That's it.
Beautiful.
Mm,
That's right. The gold, not the gold diamond nugget out there that you give. Give what
yeah.
people want. That's what
Yeah,
you did.
well,
And
honestly, like I vividly remember being at garden shows, and people would go, "Oh, I want a fragrant rose. I want a rose that's full of vigor." And I would know all the roses. Even as I'm speaking right now, this is a long time ago that I used to do this, and I can still remember how it felt to sell. I can still remember the roses that I was selling. I can still remember the way their face looked when they took their gorgeous rose away. I mean, I still remember all of that. And, they went there to get a special rose and they got a special rose. And it was amazing. It really was.
that's amazing. Super amazing. I know you talk a lot about like happiness and joy when you are business is not just about making money and all. It's more than that. But when we anybody is starting out their entrepreneur journey, a lot of time we just ourselves start giving excuses, objections, limiting beliefs, and we are holding ourselves back a lot of time.
Mhm.
How to get out of that head?
Oh, are you ready for it, dude? Are you ready
I'm
for it? Because
super
quite
ready.
literally yesterday, I woke up and I was like, today I don't really feel like it today. I don't really feel like, getting into the office and, I'm launching something at the moment, which is amazing. I'm very, very, very excited. and I've been working on it for a good period of time. Probably it is actually my life's work. So when I say a good period of time, I've been working on it for 42 years.
Wow.
And there are sometimes though that you don't feel like it. You don't like even I've got really high energy for the most of the time. And then for me, I probably went from a 10 out of 10 energy yesterday to an 8 out of 10. And that's a big difference for me. Like most people, wouldn't necessarily see the difference in me. But for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a little bit lower. So I operate on the ethos of life is short, we're dead soon. So I don't want to mess around doing things that don't feel good or doing things that are out of alignment with who I am. And believe me, I've gone the wrong way enough times to go, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm 42 years in. I'm not playing life in an obligatory way anymore. I'm just not doing it. So my secret for my success and the manner in which I use the filter, the movement, how I live life is through Kapow, which stands for Kapow, or it's spelt Kapow, and that stands for K. The K stands for connection. And I know I'm breaking a rule because connection is spelt with a C, but in society, especially the entrepreneurial world, we have to break societal rules that just don't work for us. We have to. We absolutely have to. So connection, who are you connecting to? What are you connecting to? Who is your God, spirit, universe, big, hairy unicorn in the sky? Do you believe in a higher power? If not, that's cool. But what are you connecting to from a spiritual standpoint? What are you connecting to from a community standpoint, right? Sahil, your community is connecting to you for the promised land right now. Mm-hmm. Who are you connecting to in terms of what are you watching? Like what Netflix shows are you watching? Are you watching doom and gloom? Are you watching happiness and higher vibration things? So that is where we start. Okay, so K, connection. Mm-hmm. Authenticity is the next one. That is not just like putting on makeup that's not like just, oh, this is who I am and this is what my belief systems are. No, hold the phone. Authenticity is being yourself, even in the times when it is hardest to do that. And most of the time when it's hardest to do that is around our family. Okay, so connection, authenticity, purpose, living a purposeful life, ownership. That's what I had to do yesterday. I had to take ownership for the fact that I didn't feel top of the pops. I needed to move my body. I needed to do things differently yesterday. I needed to use different mannerisms, different mechanisms yesterday to bring my level up to where I wanted it to be. And then the last one is wealth. And Sahil, we all want wealth. And we think that money is the only version of wealth. Well, that's absolute horse crap. That is incorrect. Wealth is peace. Wealth is the connections that make us feel yummy. Wealth is financial abundance. Yes, wealth is choices. Wealth is living a truly gorgeous, amazing life. So Kapow, when we do the Kapo, we get more of the W. So for me, W equals wealth equals happiness. Period. The end.
Mic drop right there. Definitely. Yeah. Love it. And the part where you mentioned about you were measuring your energy, like you were 10 out of 10 yesterday, you said today you are feeling 8 out of 10. Not everybody is doing that, especially in this entrepreneur world. We are all hustling, get this done, and going to bed like, I'm done for the day.
No hustling over here. I work, but I do not hustle. Like I'm not gonna mess around and hustle on something that I just don't feel like. I work hard. Like yesterday, when I say I work hard, I work long hours. I don't work hard. I actually don't work hard, period. But, you got to do things that light you up. It's either a drainer or a driver. And, the things that I'm driven towards, it feels easier. Do I work long hours sometimes? Yes. But is it, to put together the system so I don't have to work long hours? Yes. So I'm in launch phase at the moment. I'm launching. So yeah. So we go through different phases as entrepreneurs.
So true. And I was funny enough, I was watching your interview with Jeff Lerner that you did, and you guys behaved like that 5-year-old. That was super amazing. I burst out of laughter.
Dude, that was legit one of the funniest things. That interview was so much fun. And a lot of the time people come to me for my energy. Like I realized not long ago raw, real, and honest with you right now. And please, anyone listening and watching right now, understand that I'm not sitting here right now going, oh my gosh, how cool am I? I'm just going to project how cool am I on everyone. No, what I'm saying is find yourself in what I'm saying, because I've had to learn that it is 100% okay to be me. I am literally one of the most energetic people I know. There are not too many people in the world that have more energy than me. And I sometimes dampened my energy down to make other people feel okay. Whereas what I realized is that people come to me for my energy. People want to be around my energy and my expertise and the fact that I know how to make millions and millions of bucks. But what they're magnetized to first is my energy, my playfulness, my fun. Oh, never lose the part of you that is the most you ever.
Well said, well said. Yeah, it's so honest. Starts with that, and then additional things are coming into that. But like every time there is so much noise around there, whether in terms of business strategies, tactics, systems, hitting six figures, seven figure, eight figures, etc., etc. How do you lead with that? Like having that open heart and open mind.
Wow, it's such a great question. Um, Look, I've been around for long enough now to know when I've led using different modus operandis. So when I first led Social Monkey Business and went out there into the world, I was actually having a conversation with Sehgal yesterday about, when I first started saying, hey, and a massive kapow, like, hey, and a massive kapow, my name is Liz Benny. And that's one of my first things that I say. And that was those are words that I wrote on one of my very first ads, period. And that was my very first converting ad. And then I started saying kapow more and more and more. And then people started to say to me, well, what does kapow mean? So it's interesting because then I was full of hope and full of dreams, and I wanted to get myself out of the financial situation I was in. And I was just going for it, like doing anything I could humanly do. I was nervous. I was scared of what people would say, of course, but I was driven by a hunger that was, well, the noise of the hunger was well and truly above the noise of the fear. And then I've led with my heart wide open at other times. And sometimes it was perhaps not, it's not that it was too wide open, it's that I hadn't done the internal work to deal with the people that would come along and want to cut me off. And there are some people that come along and say, and it's not that they say things, everyone says, like, people say horrible things to everyone. But for me, it was a matter of, like, I needed to grow up, Sahil. I needed to realize that I could lead with a wide open heart, but I also needed to have a bulletproofness about me so I could continue to lead with that wide open heart. Because then after that, when I got hurt, I actually closed my heart and I marketed products and services with a closed heart. Do you know what happened? I wasn't kapowing. I wasn't being the full me. So then I actually needed to go through a lot of stuff to get myself really back. Because what people actually want is the fullness, the boldness, the energy, the love, the fun, and the strategies, and the systems, and the tactics. But they want to do that with someone who they want to be able to be themselves around. So that's honestly, like, I made less money. And I converted less when I wasn't leading with an open heart.
Right there, people who are watching live, right there, go like, I want to confess something. I'm feeling like hypnotized here. I'm just listening to you. Most of the time, I'm just nodding my head, but now I'm like nodding very slowly. I'm listening to you. Beautiful. I'm getting attached to this. What's with this Kapow movement that you created? It's a big impact that is already there out in the world. But what's the one thing that you didn't expect that Kapow movement would have done, but it has done to the others, not only you, but others people life?
What an amazing question. My gosh, like, it's actually Russell Brunson talks about this. And him and I have talked a lot around this idea that it kind of gets away on you. And suddenly it becomes this thing that you started and this thing that you said to then this verb that people say kapow to me all of the time, literally 2 minutes before the beginning of the show, I'm not even being called Liz now. Hi, Kapow Queen. Like, I'm being called like, hi, Kapow Queen. And then one of my, I'm looking at another message here. From a client that I've just helped. She had paid $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to someone to help her create a high ticket program and the typical, create a product and you're going to need 4 pages. You're going to need this, you're going to need your, and I'm like, I've seen it all before. Stop. Help the person become themselves. Then anything will work, period. That's it. And of course, create an incredible offer and all that sort of stuff. But this person, Leona, she's one of my clients right now, and she'd never made any sales online at all. She's just done her first 5 sales. She wrote through to me last night. She said, you have no idea how much Kapow creates new lives for people. And I'm like, and then she said, and how far it reaches. All of a sudden, Liz Benny, the Queen of Kapow, that used to say Kapow as a thing, like to make people feel good, has created this movement where people are calling Kapow the movement. They're talking about Kapow. I'm like, holy crap. It's really going now. It's like this. It's like the fire is like, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This is incredible. And it took me, honestly, I look back now, Sahil, and I go, wow, that happened, then that happened, then that happened to help me get to that. And then that happened to get and Iron Man, how he's in the program, how he's like this and he's like, don't need that. And it actually comes together like that. I'm like, oh, that's it. And that's how it all feels now.
Wonderful. I think I need to add a module in my coaching program regarding this. How to feel like you, how to be truthful to you. It's a major point out there. It's not about, again, strategy, system. It's more about you, what you are. People buy. I believe in this. Like, people buy you before. Again, Russell also talks about it, before they buy your product. If they're sold on you, they'll be sold on your product.
And you were at Funnel Hacking Live. You remember who was it? Who's the guy that got dressed in all the clothes? Marcus Lemonis.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus Lemonis said to us, it's not my responsibility to get someone to believe in what I'm selling.
Yeah.
It's my responsibility to get them to believe that I believe in what I'm selling. Big difference. Huge difference. And to be honest, when I heard him say that, I was like, oh, that's why that worked. That's why that didn't work. That's why that worked. That's why that didn't work. And I'm like, oh, that's the Holy Grail. Like, because I've had the experience of all that. Yeah.
You found the answer without even asking a question.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you were talking about Russell Brunson and Anik Singhal. I want to know about, like, who are the 3 or more than 3, if you want to say, influential people in your life and how they have impacted you. I know Russell. Yeah, I have watched your 7 years ago interview with Russell. Amazing.
Don't say 7 years. We don't use. It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
It's actually quite funny because Russell came to this house here years and years and years ago, and we had, he jumped on my trampoline. And it was like back in the early days. It was so fun. So the most influential people, my gosh, there are lots of people along the way. Because I'm an empath, I don't think that there are like 3 most influential people. Like back in the day. I love you too, Allegra. Rose, what a great name. I hope I said your name correctly. I am dyslexic, so if I absolutely butchered your name, I massively apologize. So the most influential people, like I can say people like Oprah, like in the early days, I remember looking at Oprah and going, oh my gosh, like if I look at how she's touching the world. So I would say that seeing how Oprah conducted herself, and the impact that she's had on the world, positive impact, and, whether you believe that or not, it's absolutely up to you. So she would be one of the early people that I looked up to go, right, I want to be impactful. I want to impact the world like Oprah. So she's definitely one of those people. Honestly, it's a really hard answer. Like, obviously Russell has had such a massive play in my life, the community that I have, been a part of in the early days, and the people that I've met through there. But I couldn't put it down. Like, I am so grateful for the people along my journey, the reasons, the seasons, the lifetimes, the good, the bad. I'm grateful for them all because they've all helped shape me to become who I am now, and also the person that has this gorgeous vision for the future.
Oh, wonderful. This is precious. Love it.
Mm.
What is does this Liz does like for to increase the productivity for you when you were mentioning about I'm coming back to your old question where we were talking about your working 8 hours. You said you don't work hard, you literally do more in that.
Yep.
How do you what's your favorite productivity hack for that?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So my favorite productivity app, I don't have one. But I do have a system that I've developed where I use Trello, because I believe that it's a gorgeous marriage. You have to have a gorgeous marriage between between both business, building your business and building your life. I see a lot of people, they hustle too hard, they get stuff done, they burn themselves out along the way, and they forget to do the things that actually assist them. They forget to look after themselves, they forget to look after their relationships, and then you end up with a situation where entrepreneurs have, go through divorce, disease, disillusionment. They detach from themselves, they detach from the people around them, and they get themselves into this tunnel of got to keep going, got to keep going, got to get the conversions, got to get the OTO, got to get. I'm like, okay, cool. Are you happy? No. Okay, cool. Well, maybe let's do some stuff. When was the last time you've been to nature? When was the last time that you hung out with friends and just laughed? How much water are you drinking? So there are things that I personally do to ensure that I am productive. I make sure I'm always hydrated. Believe it or not, I have 1 coffee a day.
That's
And I
it?
do it because I like coffee. I don't have things to make me more productive. To be very honest with you, if I have focused things, they actually do the reverse to me. They make me all so for me, one of the most productive things that anyone can do, please listen to this, everyone. I feel like people become unproductive when they don't know where they're going.
Hmm.
If a person doesn't know why they're doing it and where they're going, it's like, well, they're just baking a cake with the bread recipe mix.
Hmm.
It's not going to work. You're not going to get a good cake or good bread because it's not going to be what you want. So my point is that when entrepreneurs build from the inside out and they go, I'm going that way, I want to build this. This is my vision for my future. I can see me being that. Really and truly get that. I can see me being that. Because when you can see yourself being the thing that you seek to become or that you want to become, you start to become it along the journey. And if it feels good to you, and you're like, yeah, I really want that. Like, that's going to be incredible. Like, this is incredible. This is building. This is growing. You're like, it doesn't ever feel like work. So I think that when people try to use these productivity apps and all that sort of stuff, some of the time I feel that that's because they're actually not enjoying what they're doing and they're forcing themselves to do the work anyway. I don't
Hmm.
need a productivity app. I have a spreadsheet right now. I bounce around all these different things. I have a spreadsheet of all of the things that need to get done before I launch my product.
Hmm.
And I literally have the list, and then I turn things green when they're done. If they're in progress, it's yellow. If it's not started, it's nothing. If it's stopped, it's a red X. And that's it.
Hmm.
It's just basic. It's simple, but I know where I'm going. And I why I'm going there. I know where I'm going. I know who I'm going with. Keep it basic.
That is most important thing, I would say. Simplification and knowing what exactly you are doing rather than the
Yeah,
fancy stuff. Love it. And in that part, a follow-up question coming in my mind is like we are entrepreneurs, we are humans, we get stuck most of the time. Where does Liz, who do you turn to when you are feeling stuck, when you need an answer, when you are
that's such a
looking
great
for the
question.
next step?
Okay, so I'm just going to say that we don't get in my mind. I don't get stuck most of the time. I get stuck, period. I think one of my greatest skills is being honest with myself.
Hmm.
And when I say that I go from a 10 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10 energy, then, I'm like, okay, cool. So awareness, the first thing I do, I'm actually going to teach everyone here ABCD. The first thing that I do is I become aware as to how I'm feeling, where that might be coming from. So, for example, you might hear that I have a little bit of a sore throat right now. I sound a little bit more masculine. and like I woke up with just a little touch of a sore throat. Cool. Awareness. Thank you. I'm aware of that right now.
Mm.
And then that has the potential, and I go, that has a potential to wear me. So I need to make sure that today I'm taking extra good care of myself. Zero sugar today. Lots more water today. Some good teas today. I won't get sick because I just don't get sick. But because that's just how I operate. That's my belief system. But awareness, you've got to become aware. Then you look at your belief system, right? Your beliefs and your behaviors. If you are ever off course, anyone listen to this, if you are ever off course, the first thing to do is to stop and become aware. Yes, you can call people, but if you can actually do this for yourself, you stop yourself from the pattern of seeking external support for everything, because everything is actually an internal game. Now, I'm not saying don't call people, because believe you me, I call people, okay? But the first thing you need to do is actually to become a custodian of your own body, a custodian of your own awareness. So become aware. Then look at your beliefs and your behaviors. Are your beliefs and your behaviors in alignment with what you want? If not, start there. Then the C, look at your communication, look at your connections, look at your conditioning. Really and truly understand that if you are off and if you are experiencing D, which is divorce, disillusionment, dis-ease, any dis-ease. My body is right now in a moderate version of dis-ease. Ease is when you're 100% healthy. I'm currently having dis-ease, which means I need to become aware and step back. And honestly, dude, it's not easy to just sit here and go, oh, look at me. I'm not perfect. But I want everyone to know that I'm not perfect, because that gives everyone license to be themselves. Okay. So just know, everyone that's sitting there right now, go, oh my gosh, she's telling us how. It's not easy to point the finger at yourself and go, oh, she's saying this live. This can't even be edited out. Like, people are watching me right now from around the world that I don't even know. Now, with that said, let's just consider that the D is the thing that if you want to go from A to Z, and the D is the thing that gets you. It's the divorce. It's the disease. It's the disharmony. It's the disillusionment. It's the things. It's the disarray, right? Things aren't working in my life. Feels horrible. Go A, B, C, and then there will be no D. You'll just cruise on the way through. D will not feel big at all, and you'll make it all the way to Z. Now, with that said, who do I call to answer your specific question? I call one of two people. One of two types of people. Now, I personally believe that the internal game drives the external game. So I'm always going to first seek assistance, because if I'm in my left brain, right, if I'm doing left brain dominant things, it is likely that if I'm feeling off, I haven't picked something up from an internal / spiritual / psychic or woo-woo or some version of me over on the other side. So I will call one of my dear friends and say, hey, is there a message for me right now that I need to hear? And it might be slow down. It might be listen. It might be you're going the wrong way. It might be just take a breather. It might be like, I don't know, it might be get louder. It might be whatever it is. But if I'm ever feeling off, the first port of call for me normally is the intuitive side, because you can solve lots of things with the strategy, yes, but I want to make sure that internally I'm solid first before I try to mix things externally, because you can mix things externally, but if I'm still out of alignment as a person, as a being, as consciousness, then it's not going to be an easy game externally. So then I'll do that. And then, of course, if there's something that I like my tracking pixel is not working, I'm not going to call my woo woo for that one. She'll be like, I don't know anything about that. So then I will call the person for that task, for that thing. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. 100% agree on what you said here. So many things. That's I really love the concept of one ABCD. That one,
Mm.
amazing. And if listeners have to find more information about Kapow or anywhere about you online or want to learn more about you, where can they go?
Okay. Raw and honest, the best place to go right now is probably either Instagram. So instagram.com/Liz Benny. Or of course go to lizbenny.com. That's my website, but Instagram or my personal Facebook, because I don't believe in Facebook pages anymore. So that's just facebook.com/Liz Benny Home. But you'll be able to find me there. I'm normally goofing off at the gym or doing something silly. So you'll be able to find me. Yeah.
That's amazing. What's the one piece of advice you want to give to share to our listeners today or to our buddy entrepreneurs?
Okay. So here's the deal. Really, 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 really 100%, 100%. I had to re-edit myself there or edit myself. Just really center yourself in your own strength and your own conviction and your own confidence in who you are. Now, the reason why I say this is that in some regards, I wasn't ready for some of my success. And the more you can develop yourself internally for the external success that you desire, that's going to be the biggest secret I could ever give you right now. So that will give you less bumps in the road. That will give you less turbulence. That will give you less arguments, all that sort of stuff. And that will give you more ease. So I'm going to finish with one quick thing. I know we're like 1.5 minutes over time or whatever it is, but I'm going to finish with this because this is really important. Over the last 6 months, I've really been looking at my life and going, what do I want to achieve in my life? Who do I want to be? What do I want to experience? It's not just all about achievement, by the way. So achievement is a very type A mannerism, and I've been type A. But what experience of life do I want is the biggest question. Because in the grand scheme of things, life really is short. And I think we get caught in the day-to-day way too much. So then every decision in my business now, my wife, she said to me, you know what? I really want things to be simple and easy. And I said, yeah, me too. And I said, and I want things to be full of love and full of fun. And she said, yeah, I want that too. And then if you look at the letters at the top of that, it's SELF, self. Every single decision we make in terms of what we're launching, how we show up, is now in alignment with looking after ourself. I look after myself. I look after myself. Myself is my business. SE, simple, easy, love, and fun. That is the operating system that we operate through. I invite you to do the same.
That's beautiful. I'm already in. Love it. Thank you so much, Liz, for doing this. And for people who were watching, I hope you enjoyed it with a lot of not just gold, diamond nuggets that she dropped down and right straight from the heart. Thank you so much, everyone. Once again, thank you so much, Liz, for your time again. All right. I'll see you all in the next one. Till then, stay tuned. Take care. Bye, everyone.